Greetings, beacons of light. For those of you who are unfamiliar, my name is Stewart Pearce, and for nearly 40 years I've been the channel, the emissary for 12 beings of light called the Angels of Atlantis. And this is the weekly transmission from the angels that we've just recorded. So I've just come out of 30-40 minutes of trance. And it's extraordinary, this transmission. This is called Radiant Revelation and is the second part of 3 parts, the first being last week, and the second part where the angels revealed to us from the Akashic records what the essence and nature of Atlantis was all about. And on this occasion, how Atlantis was constructed, how its organizational field was operated by the constant approach to devotion, reverence, and adoration. So they give details about the temples. For example, many of the temples were built so they had vast water channels within them that the whales and the dolphins could swim through and sing their sacred songs during the communion of the rituals that maybe you as an Atlantean experienced. So do tune into it. It's packed full of extraordinary information. But more importantly, perhaps, it is also a light transmission. The angels asked me to keep my eyes open, although I'm in trance, to channel light. And they've also, over the years, prepared my voice with a certain frequency that you will feel will be, some people describe it as being hypnotic, but as a result you will feel all of your chakras being opened, being stimulated to not just remember your sacred membership of the cosmos, but also to remember the power of what you can bring forth at this time as a spiritual initiate. So do tune in, it's pretty remarkable. And the other thing that I'd love to mention, well, actually 2 things. The first thing is that on June the 21st, it's the summer solstice. And on specific occasions like this, we organize within the Angels of Atlantis community a 33-minute free global meditation. All you have to do is to go to the events page on the angelsofatlantis.com and you'll see it very clearly. Summer Solstice Meditation. Come along, because thousands of people come. We create this wonderful communion of light with those 33 minutes, which obviously I will direct for us. And we will chant and bring light in to our meditation process to hopefully elevate the consciousness, not just of our own lives, but the lives of all our brothers and sisters, and of course the kingdoms of the animal and vegetable and mineral worlds. And if you haven't clicked subscribe or like, please do, because by doing this you're really helping us to bring forth these beautiful transmissions into the world so many more people get to be nourished by what the angels are giving us at this time, which effectively is pure love. So have a good listen in. I'm now going to meditate, and so you'll see I will just pause and go deeply into breath where I open up my chakras and the pranic cord. I then lean into my heart chakra because this is where I hear the angels' voices. So meditate with me, because we know meditation is all. We're preparing all of our neural pathways for a high degree of excellence and success. Greetings, beacons of light. Dear ones, we are with you and without, embracing you in the spirit of divine grace, circling you with waves of consummate love and gifting cosmic rainbows in your direction. For we see the amazing capacities you possess in all of your loving, in all of your vulnerability, in all of your kindness. And we are here, as always, to lead you back to paths of righteousness. Please breathe us into your hearts, for this grace is our ignition. And then you will feel our intimate connection with you, we 12 angels of Atlantis, so that even if fear holds you in its grip, even if you feel you are moved from your core truth by pain or illness, even if you are taken from that is most sacred and serene, even in the pitch of great darkness, we will always be with you. This is our soul contract. You see, we keep our light energy boundaries constant. We revitalize through the energy boundaries, and it brings us to our truth, for they contain us within the brilliance of what the Divine Mother, Father, God, Source desires to create through us. And so we have no other distraction in this service. And we passionately ask you on planet Gaia, to do and be the same in your devotions. For you are moving towards a great alignment, the summer solstice. This is a cosmic cycle of huge import on this occasion. So please focus your hearts, for they will be triggered, altering your entire perspective of the world, rising through the essential modules onto a higher octave. You see, your energies are about to be upgraded by the June 21st solstice. In this transmission, our light that we offer you is a template in the form of a sacred talisman, a divine tool. For this is the second part of 3 parts that we desire to communicate with you about the Rising of Atlantis. We intend that this will be a facilitation of a deeper remembering within you, a knowing of your Atlantean lives and all that you have experienced, specifically through that timeline. For we desire this to help you elevate your current circumstances as you open to fresher perspectives of what your planetary experience could be by remembering the Atla. For they were a reflection of the beauty, the truth, and the wisdom of the Divine Mother, Father, God, Source. An ancient template is awakening in the core of your Gaia, in Telos. And this was placed there millennia ago during the end times of Atlantis. And as you know, many Atlanteans transmigrated into the core of the earth. And this, as we have suggested, was over 12,000 years ago. So please see this channeling as a way of drawing in the wonder and the peace and the magical truth of this sacred expression. For the template, like a circuit board, is a talisman. And this was created by the high priest and priestesses of Atlantis in association with the star beings from the Intergalactic Federation. We refer to the Pleiades, Arcturus, Lyra, Sirius, Andromeda, Orion, and Venus. And this was done just for you. For you. For you. To be a reactivation during the forthcoming solstice. The template is an aggregate of pure sound and light codes that will be keyed by your heart's love. This is your security key. For you see, your heart is a toroidal generator that opens a field of plasmic convergence around your being to assist you in the dreaming of a new planetary order of existence. Your heart is singing and speaking your waveform into existence, providing you with a foundation to dream your new earth into creation. And as such, there will be no memory of the chaos and greed that you register currently within the Earth's status quo. These energies will instead simply be calcifications within the tectonic plates, a dulling of the electromagnetic grid of your Gaia, and then they will be healed. For this template we speak of is a pristine new order, richly woven through the higher vibrational states of being within the cosmos. And these we refer to, of course, are unconditional love, empathic unity, and divine compassion. Containing these higher vibrations means that you will be living in the regard of one another and all sentient life, in mutual respect and common decency. These sacred potentials reflect the purest forces that you once lived during the great golden phase of Atlantis, a time phase of 1,500 years, a field of existence which created the notion in your cellular memory of the Garden of Eden. Yes. During this reality, you lived a higher vibrational capacity of your DNA existing within the 5th, 6th, and 7th dimensions. And this was created, promoted, and sustained through your pure practices, your prayerfulness, your meditations, your rituals, where you use sound and light in relation to the unique and sacred crystals that were directed to you by the Atla priests and priestesses. For these beings lived within the scope of a much higher dimensionality than yourself, moving between the 6th and the 12th dimensions of consciousness, and in some cases even further. You see this represented in your ancient mythology, particularly that arises from Greece and Rome, for you see them in the form of gods and goddesses. This was not so, but they were deified. And these elevated priestly beings were representative of the 24 civilization of sacred sentience that live within your galaxy. And they lived primarily through the multiple vibrations of 12, this being the number vibration that represents universal resonance. You, as an Atlantean, lived within 12 communions, and these were built or arranged in spirals and circles, mirroring the wave frequencies of divine nature, the divine nature of the cosmos. And these communions resonated perfected degrees of inclusivity, because each individual soul was nourished by wholeness and oneness, created by the soul choices of those incarnations balanced with divine will. Each communion comprised of approximately 12,000 individuals, and so reflected the perfection that lies within the serenity of the divine plan. At the center of each communion existed beautiful temples, constructed for the energetic focus of devotion, reverence, and adoration. These sacred purposings drew each individual into morphing, yes, morphing into the creation of oneness, for separation was never a reality. Therefore, the communions were sustained through the levels of fifth dimensionality for all spiritual initiates. And living through these levels of connectivity meant that each individual sustained a rare degree of sensitivity and longevity, sometimes living to beyond 300 or 400 years or more, depending on the composition of their soul contracts. For the Atlanteans performed temple rituals that specifically honored their earth nature being married to their cosmic origins, for planet Earth was much sought after as a destination within the expanding field of intelligence of the multiverse. Living thus meant that everyone remained pure and constant in vibration, honoring the great solar and lunar cycles, whilst being in deep respect for other planetary civilizations, those domains that you know exist within the multiverse. Dear ones, we encourage you to achieve these processes now, to purify your starseed inclinations, to rarefy your cellular evolution by releasing fear and negativity, and thereby to be uplifted within the energies of the Gaia and all sentience during this unique time of remembering, and this you will attain through your ritual healings. You see, in Atlantis, rituals were exquisite liturgies that evoked states of mind-altering consciousness. For the Atla, the great priests and priestesses, possessed the ability to heal through the profound telepathic use of sound and light. In fact, all of the temples existed on Earth nodes, linking geopathic pathways that were possessed also as star navigation systems. And a number possessed great channels filled with ocean waters, bringing into the temple the whales and the dolphins, who were souls from Sirius and Venus that provided healing through their presence and their exquisite songs. Indeed, the dolphins accompanied the priestess midwives and assisted in childbirth, using the currency of the water element to bring infants forth peacefully as they were born, surrounded by the sonic vibrations of the whales. You see, dear ones, the whales sing songs that have codes within them from other star systems. They are ancient souls living such purity. Please note, several of the Avatar High Priests and the Magi High Priestesses inspired a gigantic biosphere over the dominion of Atlantis, and this dome-shaped force refined the climate of the continent, the civilization, enabling an enhanced atmosphere to be created so that the Atlanteans could sustain a level of spiritual attainment that vibrated on a much higher octave. A higher octave than anything you may currently live. We give this to you for your dreaming. And if energies weren't in alignment, they were immediately transmuted, altered by the highly evolved spiritual technology, the meditations, the prayers, the affirmations, the healings, all based on the use of holography, on the use of light, light passing through the exquisite crystals. And so, the vibration of each temple was amplified by positioning refined crystals and precious stones. We speak of diamonds, amethyst, larimar, rubies, emeralds, citrine, carnelian, moonstones, pink quartz, amber, tourmaline, clear quartz, each representing one of the light rays of we 12 angels, each representing the planets that signify our angelic core energies. And these crystals emanated the insignia of the 12 immediate star nations, those that were within the 24 civilizations of the galaxy. And each temple was designed exquisitely with domes, made mostly of white marble, with each angelic ray suffused within the crystals that floated in the air or decorated the walls, the floors, the ceiling, and which in turn were partly open to the stars through stellar rays. And so therefore stellar rays could be received, or spacecraft could easily travel through the opening within the dome. There were also temples created from nature, weaving Mother Earth through the magic of the forests and the rocks and the watercourses. The intention was to venerate the natural chemistry of the elements within the earth, water, air, and fire, within the physical force of all of the Atlanteans' bodies. And this brought forth the sacred vibration of the divine deeper into the physical. These natural temples were prolific, and all dedicated to the daily immersions that were required to stabilize immunity and to create joy-filled well-being. These temples were in themselves harmonic songs, for they were built on converging lays, built on watercourses woven into exquisite patterns where the Earth's crystalline grid created interstices of potent connections suffused by love. And so these temples created optimum healing states for the Atlanteans, who received the healing energies through their body conduits, for each body was considered to be an earth antennae, for you knew you were cosmic citizens. Each of the sacred temples were based within the center of the 12 communions, reflecting the divine feminine principle of inclusivity, formed within a circle. And each communion had its own temple, so these sacred sites were for the holy healers, the sacred warriors, the divine messengers, the sacred cosmic guides, the celestial lovers, the holy liberators, the divine leaders, the cosmic teachers and astrologers, the sacred guardians, the divine companions and comforters, and the oracles. Those beings who had the especial responsibility for perceiving and reading the mysteries of the Akasha. And at the center of these temples was placed a highly refined quartz crystal skull, about which we will reveal in the next transmission. Suffice it to say that these mighty stellar brains were sculpted via ultra-terrestrial aid from solid pieces of crystal using laser and sonar. And they were encoded with pure cosmic codes of intelligence from the divine Mother, Father, God source. Altogether there were 12 quartz crystal skulls. And yet during your current Earth time phase, only one has been rediscovered. And this took place through divine transmission and aid in 1927 during an archaeological dig of a significant Mayan temple in the country you call Belize. The skull is known as the Mitchell Hedges. It holds powerful cosmic codes. And yet, the ability to read has been unremembered. Yet, this will alter. This will alter during new earth creations. And then there was the 13th skull. 13 being the number vibration of spiritual transformation, and this was made from amethyst. It floated by telekinesis in the sanctuary of the great temple of Poseidon, and this temple was known as the Temple of Infinite Being, and it was located in an area that you now know as the Atlas Mountains of Morocco. For you see, Poseidon was the high priest of the ocean, who was proclaimed as the seal keeper. The seal keeper who named Atlantis, a word that is a sonic glyph for the action of the land that rose from the water. Indeed, this has been written about by Plato, who, as you know, was an incarnation of Thoth, who referred to Atlas as the sovereign of Atlantis, appointed by his father, Poseidon. This amethyst crystal skull was a gatekeeper crystal, and it drew the force of the other 12 crystal skulls into synchrony, so that they inhabited the same resonance. And when this occurred, a portal was opened within planet Earth for the entry of higher cosmic dimensional beings for their information about the life of the cosmos. This skull was placed within an orichalcum shield beneath the giant Tua crystal, which was secreted within the sanctum sanctorum of Poseidon's temple. Orichalcum is a golden-coloured bronze alloy which was used extensively throughout Atlantis for unique energy transmissions and was inherited by the people of Chem. You will hear this through the teachings of Thoth. Dear ones, there is so much that we wish to share. And yet, this information will come in later transmissions, for we wish to take care of your energies as this information is powerfully rich. And so, for now, farewell. We will pause here so that you may meditate on these revelations from the Akasha. Listen twice, listen thrice, and remember, we intend these currents of words to activate your DNA, and so they are composed of 75% light transmission and 25% data. Please live the fullness of your passions, and remember, your self-love is the divine light that lights the stars. We will meet you again, we promise. It is destined to be thus. Namaste, namaste, namaste.